You know, when you think of Elon Musk's companies, you probably think of all-nighters, impossible deadlines, and this radical first principles thinking. But beneath all the myths, there are these repeatable practices. A whole operating system that has totally changed how complex hardware gets built. So, let's get into it. We're going to decode the OS that's building the future straight from the people who are actually there.
So, what is it? What's the actual secret sauce that lets them move at a speed that just leaves legacy industries choking on their dust? I'll tell you right now, it's not just about working harder. It's about working differently. It's a total rewiring of their culture, their day-to-day processes, and their entire strategy. Everything, and I mean everything, starts with a cultural foundation that's designed for just one thing: speed. And that speed comes from two key places: how fast information moves and how fast decisions get made. To really get what's going on here, you first have to understand what they're pushing against. You know, think about traditional industries. They're cautious, they're slow, everything is stuck in silos, and it's super hierarchical. Well, this new way is the complete opposite. It's all about first principles thinking, giving everyone access to the data, having flat org structures, and this deep-seated belief that software is the answer to almost anything.
I absolutely love this redefinition of a flat org. It's not about, just getting rid of managers and having total chaos. No, the one and only goal is to make information move at the speed of light. In this system, a single piece of blocked information is treated like a critical engine failure. It literally brings everything to a grinding halt.
And here's what that actually looks like in practice. The whole system is set up so a junior engineer can walk right up to an executive with a critical piece of data. There's none of this funneling information up a chain of command and waiting for it to come back down. This is how you prevent those data silos and get real, fast collaboration. It's all about crushing what they call informational churn.
Okay, so you've got information flowing freely. The next step is actually acting on it. And that's where decision velocity comes in. It's basically the art of making a high-conviction call and just moving forward, even if you don't have every last piece of data. Because waiting for perfect information, that's just a form of paralysis.
And this really gets to the heart of it. It's all about making bets. You have to accept that not every decision is going to be the right one, but you trust that by moving fast, trying things, and iterating constantly, you'll maximize your chances of success over the long run. Speed itself becomes a tool for discovery.
All right, so if culture is the why, then process is the how. This is where all those big ideas about speed and velocity get turned into real, daily, repeatable actions.
So the first rule of process is this obsessive focus on the critical path. And look, this isn't just some boring project management term. It's a whole mindset. It means you have to identify the single task that is holding up the entire schedule, and you attack it like a firefighter putting out a blaze. Everything else is secondary. Now, this might sound a little counterintuitive, but daily email updates are a massive tool here. They're what's called a forcing function. Just the act of writing it down forces the owner to be brutally honest with themselves about their progress. Did I actually move the needle on the critical path today or not? And at the same time, it broadcasts that info to the whole team, killing those data silos before they even start to form.
Look, you can't just maintain a dead sprint for 18 months straight, right? People will absolutely burn out. That's where the company drumbeat comes in. It's this steady, predictable rhythm of reviews and milestones that gives some structure to all the chaos. And crucially, it builds in moments to celebrate the small victories along the way. That's what keeps the team fueled for the long haul.
Okay, let's zoom out to the final piece of the puzzle: strategy. This is the highest level thinking that guides the whole system, whether we're talking about rocket engines or car batteries.
This might just be the most radical idea in the whole playbook: the factory mindset. It's this idea that everything can be treated like a manufacturing problem. Not just building cars, but designing rocket engines, analyzing data, even constructing the factory itself. Every single process gets broken down into a series of steps, each with its own timing and metrics. It's like building an assembly line for innovation. So, what does this look like in the real world? Well, take this Starship snorkel case. The team needed a new part. The old way would be to just design something totally new from scratch. But by aggressively questioning the requirements, they realized a part they'd already designed for the booster rocket would work just fine. That one decision saved an entire design cycle. It really comes down to this: the best part is no part, and the second best part is a reused part. And this leads us directly to one of the most hotly debated topics out there: vertical integration. But the playbook here is super clear. It's not about saving, 5 or 10% on a part. It's a strategic weapon you only pull out when you're facing an existential question. And this is the question they ask. It's a simple, binary choice. Does the company exist or not if we don't do this? If the answer is no, if the part doesn't exist, the tech isn't there, or the cost is so high that the company literally cannot exist without bringing it in-house, then you don't have a choice. You have to do it. It's about survival, not just optimization. Okay, we've broken down the culture, the process, and the strategy. Now let's boil it all down. This is the playbook you can actually take with you.
So here it is, the entire operating system on a single slide. And you can really see how each piece builds on the last. You start with flat orgs to make information move fast. You use decision velocity to act on that info. You use critical path focus to make sure you're acting on the right thing. And then use questioning requirements and vertical integration as your big strategic hammers to simplify problems and, well, ensure you survive.
So, if you're going to take away just one thing from all of this, let it be this. Speed isn't the goal itself. Speed is the byproduct. It's what happens when you relentlessly hunt down and eliminate churn in all its forms, whether that's informational churn, procedural churn, or political churn.
And that leaves us with a final thought for a little hard tech debate. Is this aggressive, almost existential approach to vertical integration an absolute masterstroke that all hard tech startups should copy? Or is it a crazy capital-intensive trap that only works if your name is Elon Musk? We want to know what you think. Defend your position in the comments. In fact, if you leave a comment with your take, we will send you the full mind map of this entire execution playbook that we've gone through today. Thanks for tuning in.